Hey, how you doing? Justin here, part 3 of Lady Writer, in which we're checking out the second verse, or really the second chorus, because I'm not going to go through all of the fills that happen in that verse. So it's mainly looking at that super cool little what a great lick that is. We're going to be looking at a close-up of that, and we'll have a look at the bridge as well, because there's some also really tasty stuff in that. And then in the last part we're going to have a look at the main solo. So let's get to a close-up and check out how to play this section. So much going on here of great things to do. So hopefully from the last lesson you're familiar with all of that kind of rhythm part. So the bit that we really want to get involved with is starting off with this lick. This lick really is a cracker, and it's not as hard as it first appears, but getting the rhythm right can be a little bit sticky for most people. Let me go through the fingering first of all and explain what's happening. It's the first note is the 12th fret on the thinnest string played with the 3rd finger. But it's the next part that forms the pattern, which is the first finger in the 9th fret, hammer on the 3rd finger in the 12th fret, flick it off, slide it back to the 7th fret, and then you're going to play the 9th fret again, this time with the 3rd finger. Okay, so the pattern. Pick, hammer, flick, slide, pick the note again. You really want to practice getting that little transition. Pick, hammer, flick, slide, pick. Okay, you've got to get that right, because then it continues. We've got now 7th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret, hammer on, flick off, slide down to the 4th fret and play the 7th fret again now with the 3rd finger. Okay, the two together. Same thing again now, 4, 7, 4, slide down to 2 and then 4. Okay, same shapes moved all of the way down the fingerboard. Last one, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, flicking off to the open E string. Okay, this is where we're going to transition, and we're going to jump over to the 3rd string in a sec. But let's go through that so we've got all of that string sorted out. So 12, 9, 12, 9, slide to 7, 9, then pick 7, 9, 7, slide to 4, 7, 4, 7, 4, slide to 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 0. Open, okay? Then the last part is 6 with the 3rd finger, 4th fret, 6th fret, 4th fret, that's the 1st and 3rd fingers in case you can't see that, slide it down to the 2nd fret, and then that actually flicks off to an open G string, which is not in key, but it's the only way that you can make the transition up to the A chord there, so we can forgive that one note being not theoretically perfect, and it's so fast you don't really hear it anyway. But that last one again, Okay, 6, 4, 6, 4, slide to 2, flick it off to the open, and it's a little bit quieter, and then we're back to the chord. So that lick again. Now counting this one can be a little bit sticky, I've got to admit, actually doing the count. The easiest thing is definitely going to be listening and playing along with the original recording. But if you want to, what we've got here, I'm not going to try and count the triplets, okay? But we would, the count just for the lick part would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, one more time. I'm just counting the 8th notes because the triplets makes it real difficult to count. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, it really works, and you've got to make sure you're in time. It's not just do it as fast as possible. It's got to have that... not in time, it ain't going to work properly. So really, really important that you focus on the timing once you've got the technique right. Now we play the chord again, same as we had before. Now I've got another classic kind of Knopfler blues influenced, slightly country idea. Really, I mean, this is a great lick. So 3rd finger on the 11th fret of the 3rd string, tone bend. Then 9th fret on the 2nd string, 9th fret on the thinner string, back to 9th fret on the 2nd string, then 12th fret on the thinner string, flicking off to the 9th fret on the thinner string, then 9th fret again on the 2nd string, then 9th fret again on the thinner string. Okay, again, 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string, 2nd string, 12th on the 1st string, flicking off to the 9th on the 1st string still, 2nd string, 1st string. Again. And we've got then the 12th fret on the 2nd string, tone bend, and then flicking it off to the 9th fret still on the 2nd string. Then the 11th fret on the 3rd string, 2 tone bends, and release. Then hammer on, flick off, 9, 11, 9. Okay, let me do that little phrase again before we do the last one. Now we've got this lovely... Really, really like this lick personally. This is 9th fret on the 5th string, sliding up to 11. Then 1st finger onto the 9th fret of the 3rd string, sliding back to the 8th fret. Then 2nd finger goes down on the 9th fret of the 4th string and slides up a tone to the root of the C sharp. Really like the way that sits around that chord shape. Really, really like that. Okay, now the next part is the bridge. And there's a kind of a few different parts going on here that all weave together really, really nicely. You can kind of hear this little 6th line. So this is the 2nd finger in the 6th fret of the 4th string, 1st finger in the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Then 3rd and 4th fingers both go down in the 7th fret, still on the 2nd and 4th strings. And then that slides up to the 9th fret. Hopefully you can kind of see that that's part of the E chord, and so's that part is part of a C-shaped version of an E chord. Very, very common movement to play over an E. Okay, so we got... And then you probably want to just move to an E chord. Live, he tends to play... and then just resorting to the same sort of strumming that he was using for the verses, but just staying on the E chord. Then it moves to a B chord. Now again, on the record there's a few different parts running around here, so I wouldn't bet my bottom dollar this was exactly what it is, but it's very, very close. It's a B chord, thinnest 4 strings. It's definitely Knopfler style, and I'm pretty sure that's what I'm hearing, but it's yeah, I was tussling with that one a little bit. So we got the B. Then first and second fingers move back a tone. So first finger's now in the 5th fret of the 2nd string, second finger's in the 6th fret of the 3rd string. We slide that up 2 frets. So you can see clearly from the B, those 2 moved back and then back to the chord shape. Then I think it's this. So the 7th fret, thinnest 2 strings, sliding up to the 9th fret. Then this is pretty sure what it is. This is the bit I was tussling with. Little finger, 7th fret, 2nd string, second finger, 6th fret on the 3rd string, slide it up a tone and back, and finish with the 2nd and 3rd strings on the 4th fret. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, will be the count. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Now we've got up to an A flat minor. Now of course, you know, it might seem a little easier to play the A flat minor there, but a couple of live videos I've seen of Mark, you can definitely see him playing right up the dusty end there, up at the 11th fret. So nothing on the thicker string, 11, 13, 13, 12. And then that moves 2 frets down to an F sharp minor chord. Okay, so the bridge, we've got the 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. To the A flat or the G sharp minor, depending on what you want to call it, to the F sharp minor. And then we're into the final solo. I've just had a look at my notes, and I think I'm going to teach you as well the last verse as well, or the last chorus rather, because there's a lick very similar to that little lick that happens again using slightly different notes in the chorus there after the guitar solo. So the one after the solo, which will be in the following video installment of this lesson, we've got the A chord, and then we've got this other little variation here. Okay, so you can see very, very similar kind of stuff going on here after the A chord. We're starting off here with the 3rd finger 16th fret, so right up the dusty end now. 16th fret of the thinnest string, we play that. Then we got 14, 16, 14, that's a hammer on flick off, slide back to the 12th fret, and then play the 14th, okay? Then we've got 12, 14, 12, that's hammer on flick off, then the 14th fret on the 2nd string. Then we've got straight away 12, 14, 12 on the 2nd string, followed by 13th fret on the 3rd string. So it does kind of break the pattern a little bit with the slides, but it stays very similar rhythmically. Then we've got 12 on the 2nd string, 13 on the 3rd string, 11, 9, moving on to the 4th string, 11, 9, and 11th fret on the 5th string before the next A. So that lick again now in time. A little faster. We've got the A and another really superb little bit of bending. Oh man, I love this lick. So little finger 12th fret, thinner string. Then the 3rd finger in the 12th fret on the 2nd string tone bend. then play the thinnest string, then back to the second string and release, 9, 12, okay? Now, there's a couple of things going on here. If you use your third finger for this last note, that means that the next bend you do, which is the 11th fret on the second string, has to be done with the second finger, which is what I think I've seen Mark do. So it's very difficult to tell with this particular phrase, but that's what it looks like to me anyway. And I'm cool with doing second or third finger bends, but if you feel uncomfortable using a second finger bend, you want to make sure that that last note is with the little finger. So there, use your little finger. Then you're free there with the third finger to do that bend. So, you know, it's kind of personal preference, I guess. But anyway, 12th fret thinnest string, tone bend, second string, back to the 12th on the thinnest, back to the bend, release, 9, 12, 11th fret on the third string, tone bend, then the 9th fret with the first finger, second string, 10th fret, second finger, flick it off, 11th fret on the third string with the third finger, flick it off to the first finger in the 9th fret, 11th fret on the fourth string with the third finger, then back to first finger, sliding up to the 11th fret. That whole lick nice and slow. Okay, and then you've got a similar, I think it goes, I think I can hear that in there that time, but, you know, again, wouldn't bet me bottom dollar on that one, but it's something like. And then we're at the kind of outro section. Well, we've covered a whole load of different phrases in this lesson, and I know as guitar players it's often a bit more appealing to play a whole solo, you know, the feeling of accomplishment of playing a whole solo, especially someone like Mark Knopfler. But there's a lot of really good things that you can learn by checking out these kind of little the little breaks and the fills and the kind of the rhythm parts, the way that he's using the lead to kind of outline the harmony a little bit. So if you're a more advanced guitar player and you've got a bit of theory knowledge, it's definitely worth looking at what the notes are that he's playing and how they relate to the chords that are being played underneath. That'll really help you put all of those licks and phrases into good use. Really hope you're enjoying that. Please subscribe if you dig what I do, and I'll see you back for the solo very, very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.